Before this video starts, if you enjoyed this video, there are many more like it already on the channel, with many more like it to come in the future, so subscribe. I'm trying to hit 125,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so I would really appreciate it. I upload daily on this channel, so if you're looking for some consistent basketball talk, this is the place for it. Also, drop a like on this video. It only takes 1 second. It makes a massive difference. So, a few things right out of the gate. Doing a 2K talk today because I really didn't have time to write a script, and I have a video planned for Sunday, so we're just getting a 2K talk today instead. So, yeah, that's why this is happening today. Although, I really don't, every time I mention this, it doesn't seem like anybody cares what my schedule is with these videos, but whatever, I'm keeping you updated anyways. Also, there is a Patreon exclusive 2K talk over, obviously, on my Patreon, where I talk about coaching in the NBA, kind of my ideas of coaching and why certain coaches like Mark Jackson don't really get hired, and ceiling versus floor raisers and all that stuff. So if that's interesting to you, for $3 at the lowest tier, you can get access to that. So go check that one out if you feel like supporting me and the channel. But with that out of the way, I wanted to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers and how many championships can this team actually win. Because as it looks right now, it seems like the Los Angeles Lakers are going to be winning the 2020 championship. It looks bad for the Miami Heat, and it's looking like I'm not even going to be doing a commentary over Game 3 because it seems like it's just going to be a wash and the series is over. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make the safe assumption that the Lakers win the 2020 championship, and that alone, that's one, obviously. So my question is, how sustainable is this for the Lakers, and how much further can they go? What kind of moves would they need to sustain longevity? All of those sorts of things, and also LeBron James's age, which is going to be a big topic of discussion here, because I saw a take that was LeBron or Anthony Davis saying, "I want to go to 9 straight finals with this guy," talking about LeBron. And LeBron is 35 years old, so he wants to go to a finals with a 44-year-old LeBron James. Now, don't get me wrong. LeBron is one of the few players in the league that I think could play to 44 and still be a very good player at 44. We saw Vince Carter be a serviceable role player at 43. So I believe LeBron James could at least be a borderline star and certainly good starter at age 44, because the guy is just an absolute freak of nature. At 35, he's still throwing down reverse putback dunks after the buzzer went off just because he feels like it. Clearly, this guy is an alien, and he's going to be in the league for quite a while as long as he wants to be. He could play until he's 45. But he's not going to be the second best option on a championship team at 44. At least, I don't think he will be. It's been a meme now where you just don't bet against LeBron James, but that's a pretty safe bet, even for LeBron James. So, don't know about 9 straight years, but it's definitely possible for this team to make multiple finals and win multiple championships, which I think is interesting both for the Lakers, obviously, and it's also interesting for the legacies of LeBron James and obviously as well Anthony Davis. So let's just start, kind of go in order here. So for their chances in 2021, what are the threats to them in terms of winning a championship? Well, first, it'd obviously be the Clippers making adjustments and being legit next year. Figuring out their chemistry issues, figuring out their coaching situation, making some smaller moves to figure out the playmaking, getting some more depth to their offense, all those things I've suggested. If they can pull that off, they're going to be a threat to the Lakers. Also in the West, honestly, would not be shocked if the Dallas Mavericks were contenders by next year. Not even joking. There's also the Warriors. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson coming back. A top pick that either could be traded for another player or will be used on a guy who will likely be able to impact winning pretty early. The Houston Rockets, I'm not really taking them seriously as a threat anymore. The Denver Nuggets, I like them, and I think another year of Michael Porter Jr. makes them a bigger threat, but I still think that the Lakers would be able to beat them without too much hesitation saying that. So I do think they make the finals next year. They're definitely my pick to make the finals out west. So out east, the biggest threats are the Milwaukee Bucks, again the Miami Heat, and maybe the Boston Celtics, and definitely the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are an interesting one because they're a team that is not a great matchup for the Lakers. Kevin Durant can guard LeBron. Jared Allen or DeAndre Jordan can guard Anthony Davis. Jared Allen would be great at that. Jordan would be meh. but he'd still not be horrible. And Kyrie Irving, people see, the thing is, the Lakers are not great at guarding guards, and Lakers fans have been like, that's not a big deal. And it is a big deal if the team also has a 7-foot scoring machine on the team as well. So if you have two guys that you really can't guard, that's a big problem. And that's assuming that Kevin Durant is pretty much himself when he comes back, which I think he will be, just because he's not someone who's relied on athleticism really at all in his career, even if he is pretty athletic. But regardless of that, I do think the Nets would put up a good fight. I do think the Bucks, if they actually got there, would put up a decent fight, even though Anthony Davis would be a really good matchup against Giannis. But I don't think any of those teams beat the Lakers. So I think they can win in 2021. After that, LeBron would be 37 years old going into next season. How good do we think LeBron is going to be for how long? That's really the question for how far the Lakers can go, unless they also manage to land another star player through trade or free agency or whatnot. I believe they have some cap space this year, and I believe if they play their cards right, they should have some cap space for next year. I don't know if it's enough to sign a star player, but you can bring back Anthony Davis and LeBron, and you can trade some guys. I don't know. It's not impossible for the Lakers to trade for another star. Now, unlike what Stephen A. Smith says, they're not getting Devin Booker for Kyle Kuzma, but they could get another guy. And another guy would really raise the ceiling of this team. And I don't even mean like a Bradley Beal. I think just a Drew Holiday could really raise the ceiling of this team. Again, how you pull off said move, don't really know. We're looking a few years into the future here. But after next year, it gets a little bit more difficult, because I think the Dallas Mavericks take another step. I think the Suns could even get into borderline contention level if they continue to progress. A lot of young teams in the league, and anything can happen. So other teams can pop up. Another super team could be formed. In 2021's free agency, a bunch of star players are going to be free agents. Kawhi Leonard could go back to the Raptors. We don't fucking know. Things can happen, is my point, and you can't really predict around that. But what I will say is that LeBron James and Anthony Davis seem really, really, really good as a duo, and that's nothing new. But as I've seen them just dominate the playoffs every round they go, it really feels like there's nothing that can be done against these two. And like, if you're stopping one, you're not stopping the other. There's no such thing as stopping both of these guys, at least in a 7-game series. And as a result, they really just tear teams apart. We watched the Miami Heat beat a team in 5 games that we expected to beat a championship caliber team in the Milwaukee Bucks. 5 games. That team that did that is getting eviscerated by the Lakers. Now, yeah, they had injuries game 2, and I do think game 3 with Bam definitely coming back and Dragic maybe coming back, it's possible the Heat give them somewhat of a series, but it's my point is the Lakers, they just look so far superior to every other team in the league right now. The question really is, how much is LeBron James going to decline? And how much is said decline going to impact them, as well as what teams are going to pop up that can be a threat to them. And to me, it's the Brooklyn Nets, and then it's kind of some wild cards. Can the Dallas Mavericks get another guy to put next to Luka and KP and become a legitimate contender? Because if they can, I think based on how those guys were playing in the playoffs, they could beat the Lakers. I do think that's possible. The Warriors, if they return to their true form with their system, get some more depth on them, and then they have Steph and Clay playing at their best basketball once more. Draymond Green is playing pretty all right. Yeah, I definitely believe that's a team that could give some real trouble to the Lakers. I'm still picking the Lakers in all of those matchups, and it really is just a matter of LeBron and his decline. And to me, I don't think he's going to decline that significantly. I think it's going to be like a 5% drop every year until he's 40. And then by then you're still getting 75% of what LeBron James is, which is awesome. So the ceiling on how many championships this team can win is sky high. Now, 9 straight finals, even without LeBron's age, is ambitious. If you had 4 20-year-old absolute bona fide superstars on your roster, you can't say you're going to go to 10 straight finals and win 10 straight, because that's just so hard to do, even if you are that talented and that young. The Lakers are not that young, By the way, Anthony Davis would be 36 in that finals as well with a hypothetical 44-year-old LeBron James, so it's not like he's going to be a spring chicken either. So that's kind of a dumb quote. That's half of the point of this video. But they can definitely win at least 3 championships. I am confident they're going to two-peat at this point. And that's scary, and I also wonder what that means for LeBron and Anthony Davis's legacy. Especially with Anthony Davis likely winning this year's Finals MVP unless something happens in the following games. I think that can happen once more. And yeah, that's going to boost AD up legacy-wise pretty damn significantly. After this championship and Finals MVP, he's going to move up into my top 50 of all time. I mean, I have Tracy McGrady in there, so of course I have to move AD up there if a guy has a Finals MVP. But yeah, LeBron, is he going to become the GOAT if he wins a couple of championships? See, I've said the question of who has done more with less has already been answered, but the question of who is the GOAT is not over automatically. It could very well be LeBron after a couple of years. So yeah, longevity, it's an unfair advantage for Jordan, but LeBron has it. And it's no more of an unfair advantage than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had. But yeah, that's how many championships the Lakers can win, kind of. I said basically 2 for sure. I'm pretty confident in. After that, I could see 3, maybe 4, maybe even 5 if things really work out. I'm going to say probably safe bet. I'm going to say 3, conservatively 2. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content like this. Again, that Patreon video is out, so go support me over there if you want to see that. And cue the outro music.